Good morning, Sarah. Oh, morning, Jack. Is the kettle almost done? Just about. It's been making that loud whistling sound for a minute, so it should click off any second. I really need this tea today. I'm still feeling a bit like a zombie.
I hear you. I'm on my second cup of coffee already, and I still feel like I'm moving in slow motion. It's that Monday morning feeling, isn't it?
It really is. But you know, Jack, as we're standing here waiting, it reminds me of something so many of our listeners tell us about. It's that specific 60 seconds in the office kitchen. You're standing here, the water is heating up, and you're next to a colleague. You want to be friendly, you want to say something, but your mind just goes totally blank. It's that awkward silence where you're just staring at your mug, hoping the kettle boils faster so you can run back to your desk.
I know exactly what you mean, Sarah. I've been there myself, especially when I was first working in English-speaking offices. You feel this pressure to have a big, deep conversation, or you worry that your English isn't perfect enough to start a chat. So you just stay silent, which feels even more uncomfortable. But the truth is, you don't need a complex topic. You just need a few simple, pocket-sized phrases to bridge that gap. If you're listening right now and you've ever felt that little knot of social anxiety in the break room, you are definitely not alone. It's one of the biggest hurdles for A2 and B1 learners who are already doing great with their work tasks but feel stuck during the social moments. If you want to move past that and start feeling like a natural part of your team, make sure you hit that subscribe button and tap the bell. We share these little strategies every week to help you turn those stressful moments into easy connections.
So, Jack, let's talk about the most common mistake people make in this situation. It usually starts with a very simple question. A colleague walks in and says, "How was your weekend?" And most learners, because they want to be polite but don't want to make a mistake, give a very short answer. They say, "It was fine, thank you." And then they stop. That's the fine thank you trap. It's a total conversation killer. When you say it was fine and nothing else, you're basically closing the door. The other person then has to work really hard to find something else to say, or they just give up and go back to looking at their phone.
That's such a good point. It's not that it was fine is wrong English, it's just that it's a dead end. To keep things moving and show you're friendly, we need what I like to call the weekend sandwich. It's a very simple formula that anyone can use, even if you're still feeling tired on a Monday morning. Think of it as 3 layers. The top slice of bread is your basic answer, like "it was good" or "it was pretty relaxing." The filling of the sandwich is one tiny specific detail, just one. You don't need to tell your whole life story. And the bottom slice of bread is asking the question back to your colleague.
Let's try to build one of those sandwiches right now. Jack, how was your weekend?
Well, it was actually really nice. I finally got around to seeing that new movie everyone's talking about. How about you, Sarah? Did you get up to anything fun?
See, that was perfect. You gave me a little bit of information about the movie, which gives me something to respond to, and then you threw the ball back to me. It makes the conversation feel like a game of catch rather than an interview. Even if you didn't do anything special, you can still use this. You could say, "It was very quiet. I mostly just stayed home and caught up on some sleep." What about you? Did you do anything exciting?
I love that. The detail doesn't have to be a big event. It can be as simple as cooking a new recipe, going for a walk in the park, or even just cleaning your apartment. The detail is just a hook for the other person to grab onto. Let's practice a few more of these sandwich fillings because this is where a lot of people get stuck. If you're a B1 learner, you can use the present perfect or the past simple here. You might say, "I've been trying to spend more time outdoors, so I went for a long hike on Saturday." Or, "I spent most of the time relaxing and watching some old TV shows." Sarah, what's a good way to practice the intonation here? Because if we say these phrases with a very flat voice, we might still sound a bit bored or unfriendly.
That is so important, Jack. In English, the melody of your voice carries a lot of the meaning. When we're being friendly in a social way, our voice usually goes up a little bit at the end of the question. Listen to the difference. "How about you?" versus "how about you?" The second one sounds much more curious and open. Let's try a little repeat after me drill for everyone listening. Try to match my melody. "It was pretty quiet. I just stayed in. How about you?" Now you try it. Did you notice how my voice went up on you? Let's try another one for a busy weekend. "It was really busy. I spent the whole time moving house. How was yours?" That little lift at the end makes a huge difference in how your colleagues perceive you. It shows you're actually interested in their life, which is the key to good small talk. And remember, you don't have to wait for them to ask you. You can be the one to start the conversation while the kettle is boiling. If you're the first one in the kitchen and a colleague walks in, you can just say, "Hey, how's your morning going so far?" This is such a great low-pressure question because it's about the right now. You're both in the office, you're both making a drink, so you're sharing that experience. You can even talk about the coffee itself. You might say, I really need this today. I'm still waiting for my caffeine to kick in. It's a very human, relatable thing to say. Everyone in an office understands the feeling of needing a coffee to start the day. I use that one all the time, Sarah. It's a classic for a reason. Another safe topic is the office itself or the workload. You could say, busy morning so far? It's a very short, natural way to check in. You don't even need the full sentence. Is it a busy morning so far? Just busy morning so far works perfectly. Or if it's a Friday, you can change the sandwich to look forward. You could say, any big plans for the weekend? It shows you're thinking ahead, and it gives them a chance to share something about their life outside of work. The goal isn't to have a long, deep discussion about your career goals. The goal is just to fill that 1 minute of waiting time with a bit of warmth. Exactly. And then comes the part that a lot of people find even harder than starting the conversation. How do you leave? The kettle has finished boiling, you've made your tea, and now you need to go back to your desk. You don't want to just turn around and walk away in the middle of a sentence, but you also don't want to stay there forever. We need an exit strategy. A very natural way to end a kitchen chat is to use a transition phrase, something like, well, better get back to it, or, right, I should probably get started on that report. These phrases tell the other person that the conversation is over because you have work to do, not because you don't like them. I like to use the phrase, I'll let you get on with your day. It's a very polite way to say goodbye because it sounds like you're being respectful of their time. You're saying, I know you're busy, so I won't keep you talking. So you might say, anyway, I'll let you get on with your day. See you later. It's short, it's friendly, and it gives you a clear path out of the room. Sarah, why don't we put all of this together into a full scene? Let's imagine I'm the colleague walking into the kitchen and you're already there. Okay, let's do it. Hey, Sarah. Morning. Oh, hey, Jack. How's your morning going so far? Not too bad, thanks. Just a lot of emails to get through already. How about you? Same here. I feel like I've been typing since I walked through the door. I really need this tea to wake me up. I bet. Did you have a good weekend at least? It was really nice, actually. I went to that new Italian place down the street on Saturday. The pasta was amazing. How about you? Did you do anything fun? Oh, I just had a quiet one. Did some gardening and watched the football. Well, look at that. My coffee is ready. I'd better get back to it. Have a good one, Sarah. You too, Jack. See you later. That was so smooth. Did you notice how we used all the pieces? We had the current moment about the emails and the tea. We had the weekend sandwich with the detail about the Italian restaurant and the gardening. And we had the polite exit when the coffee was ready. It felt completely natural, and it probably only took about 45 seconds in real time. That's all you need to build a better relationship with the people you work with. You don't need perfect grammar, and you don't need a massive vocabulary. You just need to be present and use those little hooks to keep the communication flowing. One thing I want to add for our listeners is that it's okay if you feel a bit nervous the first few times you try this. Small talk is a skill, just like learning your irregular verbs or practicing your pronunciation. The more you do it, the more natural those phrases will feel in your mouth. You might even want to practice saying them out loud while you're making your own tea at home. Try out the intonation. Say, how about you, a few times until it feels easy. Think about what your specific detail filling would be for this morning. What did you do yesterday that you could mention in one sentence? Having that one little detail ready in your pocket can take away so much of the stress. That's a great piece of advice. Let's make that our challenge for today. We call it the kettle challenge. Next time you find yourself in the kitchen at work, or even if you're just meeting a neighbor in the hallway, try to use the weekend sandwich or a simple energy check phrase like, I'm still waiting for my caffeine to kick in. Don't worry about making a mistake. Just focus on being short and friendly. If you can do that, you're already ahead of most language learners. You're moving from studying English to actually living in English. And if you found this helpful, why not share it with a friend who is also working on their English? We all have those moments of feeling stuck, and sometimes just knowing that there's a simple formula like the weekend sandwich can make all the difference. We love hearing from you, so if you try this out, let us know how it went. Did the conversation feel easier? Did you find a new detail to share? Your progress is what keeps us going. Before we go, Sarah, let's give everyone one more little boost. Learning a language is all about these small wins. Every time you say hello to a colleague or ask a simple question in the break room, you are training your brain to be more comfortable in a new culture. It might feel like a tiny thing, but those tiny things add up to a huge transformation over time. You're not just learning words, you're building a life where you can express who you are in a second language. That is something to be really proud of. Absolutely. So take a deep breath, grab your mug, and remember that you have all the tools you need right in your pocket. You've got this. We'll be back next week with another short, friendly lesson to help your English grow, one pocket-sized episode at a time. Until then, keep practicing, stay curious, and enjoy your coffee breaks. See you in the next one. Bye for now. Bye.